So, let's talk about Africa. It's this incredible place where ancient traditions and the digital age are colliding in some really fascinating ways. Today, we're going to dive into this amazing tapestry, from its super deep spiritual roots all the way to its rapid-fire technological growth.
And that really brings us to the big question, right? How does something ancient, something passed down for generations, actually survive and thrive when the world is digitizing at lightning speed? It's not about tech just replacing the old ways. It's about how these powerful traditions are finding totally new voices in our hyper-connected world. So let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to start with the foundations. We're kicking things off with cultural heritage, which is, believe me, anything but a dusty museum piece. It's alive, it's breathing, and it's always changing.
I mean, you really can't overstate the diversity here. We're not talking about a single African culture. We're talking about this stunning mosaic of thousands, literally thousands, of different ethnic groups, languages, and traditions. And this heritage isn't locked away in a history book. It's a living, breathing part of everyday life.
This culture just bursts out in so many ways. You see it in the art and music and dance, in these really strong communal values. But, for centuries, one of the most powerful pillars has been oral tradition. It's been the main way knowledge has been passed down.
And these oral narratives, we're talking stories, proverbs, myths, they are so much more than just entertainment. They're like the very DNA of a community. They carry a people's history, their ethics, their social rules, all passed from one generation to the next just through the spoken word. And this is a really cool way to think about it. Instead of just storytelling, try thinking of oral tradition as a kind of early technology. A super sophisticated system developed over millennia for organizing, storing, and sharing absolutely vital information. Pretty amazing, right?
Now, you can't talk about that cultural fabric without talking about spirituality. It's all woven together. So let's explore how this really integrated worldview shapes daily life pretty much all across the continent.
Okay, so this slide really breaks down a key difference. In a lot of Western perspectives, religion can be sort of put in a box. It's something you do on a certain day, separate from the rest of your life. But in many traditional African worldviews, spirituality is holistic. It's woven into everything: politics, family, health, you name it.
A really big piece of this puzzle is the idea of ancestor veneration. See, ancestors aren't just memories. They're seen as active, present members of the community. They're guides, they're protectors, and they act as a bridge between the living and the divine. It's a spirituality that includes everyone, even those who have passed on.
What's amazing is how flexible this spiritual framework is. It's not rigid at all. Over hundreds of years, it has absorbed new ideas and influences, like Christianity and Islam, but without losing its core beliefs. This ability to kind of blend and evolve, well, it just shows how dynamic it really is.
Which, of course, brings us to today. This is where the ancient world smashes right into the modern one. How does all this rich heritage find its place in the 21st century? Well, it's by forging a brand new digital future.
There's actually a word for this which I think is pretty cool: technourature. It's basically a movement that's using modern technology to breathe new life into those oral traditions we were talking about. It's all about documenting and preserving this huge cultural treasure for generations to come. So let's look at the pros and cons here. Oral tradition is powerful, it's full of nuance, it builds community, but it's also fragile. A story can be lost, and its reach is limited. Digital preservation, on the other hand, is durable. It can reach a global audience. But there's a risk of losing the original context, and of course, not everyone has access to the technology. It's a trade-off. And this isn't just a theory, right? We're seeing this happen all over the place. People are creating digital archives of ancient stories. There are online platforms where brand new storytellers can share their work. Even social media is becoming this incredible tool for cultural expression, making sure these traditions don't just survive, but they actually get to thrive.
But it's about so much more than just saving the past. This whole digital transformation is also shaping the future. It's driving huge economic and social change all across the continent.
And we've got the numbers to back this up. In places like Nigeria and Tanzania, for instance, studies have shown a direct, tangible link between more people getting internet access and a real drop in extreme poverty. We're talking real-world impact on people's lives. Now look, it's not all sunshine and roses. Of course not. There are still major challenges, like the digital divide. Making sure everyone has equal access is a huge goal. But the progress being made to bridge those gaps is happening fast, and it's incredibly promising.
So when you pull it all together, you start to see that these things, culture, spirituality, technology, they're not separate buckets. They're all threads, deeply interwoven into this single dynamic story of a continent that's building a future where its rich past is actually powering a vibrant and empowered tomorrow.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought. We always think of technology as this tool for building what's next, for creating the future. But what if? What if its greatest purpose is actually to be a powerful ally in preserving and celebrating the very essence of who we are and where we all come from? Something to think about.